Welcome to Science, Health and Healing Library of Children's Health Core. I'm Dr. Majid Ali. The subject of this article is Autism and Environmental Toxins. In the spring of 2012, a friend who lives in Staten Island, New York, told me that the incidence of autism in Staten Island is among the highest in any region in the United States. 1 out of 80 children now is part of the autism spectrum. It's a disturbing bit of news, but wasn't entirely unexpected for me. Earlier in the spring of 2012, CDC had reported a doubling of the rate of autism, incidence of autism in the United States during the preceding 10 or so years. Of course, that always brings out the cries from people who say, no, this is just overdiagnosis. Sidestepping that nonsensical issue, the problems are very real. It doesn't matter what name you give it. The point is, the children are highly stressed. They learn in their own unique way, which doesn't fit into our school system. The teachers are frustrated. The parents are frustrated. It's a heartbreak. I've seen 5 clear cases where the child was chattering all the time and got a vaccine and within 48 hours stopped speaking. Now, I don't blame vaccine for all that. And I will come to another segment, autism and vaccines, to present my viewpoint in greater detail. But the point that I'm making here is that the rise in the incidence of developmental issues and developmental challenges of our children, listed under the umbrella terminology of autism spectrum, is increasing, as is the environmental toxicity. Staten Island has a history of being the garbage dump of New York City for a long time. And environmentally, it's more chemicalized. Now, this is not the only situation where the degree of environmental chemicalization is being related to the incidence of children, the autism spectrum. This is an important issue. People who profit from gene research, good science is good science. I welcome all the useful information about genetics. All what I'm saying is that if you want to spend $1,000 on genetic research, which I'm certain and safe to predict that it will not lead to any meaningful therapies for these children. What the children need is a focus on toxicities of food, toxicities of environment, toxicities of thought. Yes, these children are highly stressed. I was talking to one of my patients, a very intelligent person, now in his early 20s. He would avoid eye contact with me and try to answer my question by looking at his mother, even at this age. And then something happened and he metamorphosed into something else. And then floodgates opened up. He was so articulate. He was so incisive, so insightful. They just learn differently. So the point of this article is that if your child has been labeled with autism spectrum, please think of the toxic factors which are interfering with proper brain development and making it difficult for that child to be socially integrated as other children are. I asked this young man, I said, how old were you when you realized that being in a special class was stressful to you? He said, Dr. Ali, I have been in special classes all my life and I always hated it. As long as I can remember, I detested not to be with other children in regular classes. So think of toxicities of food, think of toxicities of environment, think of toxicities of thoughts, stress. And that, of course, turns into toxicities of the gut fermentation, Toxicities of the blood fermentation, toxicities of the liver fermentation, which leads to toxicities of the brain fermentation. Please look at other segments in this playlist on autism spectrum at this encyclopedia. Children's Health Corps, a non-profit foundation, was founded by my wife and I some years ago with our mission and vision to offer authentic information, as authentic as we can make it, looking at the problem through our patient's eyes, through our microscopes, through our chemical analyzers, and paying no attention to the so-called experts of autism. You can support our vision by forwarding this YouTube segment to your email, Facebook, Twitter contacts. If you wish to help us participate in our effort in other ways, send us an email, aliacademy7@gmail.com. 7 is the number, aliacademy7@gmail.com. Until we meet again, may you be gracious, graceful, and generous in your spirit. Thank you. Thank you so much.